So welcome everyone, it's good to see you. Now we're currently discussing various tools to help you to deepen your meditation practice as you go along, as you go deeper through all the stages. We've covered the stages from episode 201 onwards. So if you want to recap, I highly recommend just going on our SoundCloud channel or our YouTube channel where I upload these talks all the time, and just go through all these episodes and update yourself for those of you who are new to this, so you get an idea of all the various stages of the practice and how to build them and how to develop them in a deeper way. So currently we're discussing, as I just said, all these various tools that help you to deepen your meditation practice. I call it the inner toolbox. And so the tool that I'm going to discuss today is going to be the tool of conscientiousness. It's a very, very important tool as well. If you want to go deeper into your meditation practice, it's highly important to avoid heedlessly doing the practice. Just sitting down and kind of, thank you very much, slapping through some stages and then ending the practice and kind of not really getting anything out of it. If you want to go deeper into your meditation practice, really experience proper progression, then you've got to pay attention to what you're doing and to do it well. So that's the idea of conscientiousness, doing something well. And to consciously do something well is helping you. It's helping you to get anything done in your daily life, really. If you want to have a good conversation, then you want to do it really well. It needs your attention. It needs your awareness to be present. If you're not really listening, then the conversation goes nowhere. Problems cannot be solved like that. So if you really listen to yourself, you can do that in multiple ways. As we start in the very beginning of the meditation practice with the first stage of preparation, which is all about the posture. That requires conscientiousness. You want to do the posture well, not in a sloppy way. If you're doing the posture in a sloppy way, what you do is you will hurt your body. So it's important to learn how to sit properly, and that will, of course, take time. Please give it that time. Developing your body takes a lot of time. It takes many, many years, and then your body is changing all the time. There's a whole lot of different influences coming in from the outside world around you. So you got to learn to adapt to those influences, and all this kind of stuff takes a lot of time. You will also never perfect your posture. There's no such thing as a perfect posture. Because everything in this universe is changing constantly, moment by moment. And in a world of change, you cannot find stable perfection in that way. Like once you have your posture developed, and then it'll be perfect and heavenly from there on. It won't be the case. You will get old, you'll get ill, and eventually you will die, and your posture will fail you. So the posture is, nonetheless, developing the posture takes a lot of conscientiousness. And posture, as I always say, doesn't only just mean your physical posture, it also means your posture in life. As you go through life, the way you do things. What do you do first thing in the morning after you get up out of your bed? How do you structure your day? How do you plan for your future? How do you think? What kind of inner postures, belief systems, and etc. do you have towards life? Are they serving you? Are they serving your friends? Are they serving those who don't like you? In other words, are you a wholesome or beneficial influence in this world? It very much depends on the posture that you have throughout your day. And again, to do that well requires conscientiousness. Get up in the morning and get up well. Brush your teeth well. What does that imply? It implies to be mindful of what you're doing, to pay attention to what you're doing, to be there as you're doing it. That's that little element of quality that makes the difference, whether you go to your restaurant where you eat something or you get your favorite dish home cooked by mom. What's the difference? The dish might have been prepared exactly the same way,
But when it's prepared by mom, there's this extra ingredient, which is love, attention, care. That's the difference. That's why it tastes a bit better. That's why we like it so much. If someone pays attention to you, you like it. Everyone likes that. So this is an element that is quite powerful, paying attention to something. Second point is the breath. Of course, you also want to bring a whole lot of attention to the breath. How do you breathe? Where is the breath constricted in the body? Where do you feel uneasy as you breathe? Particularly in the beginning, you want to take a few deep and long breaths. Not just rushing through that, oh, it's just the preparation. That's heedless. The preparation is as important as the highest stages, if not more important. I think the highest stages are an outcome of good preparation. If the preparation is not well done, it's like building a house with a foundation of styrofoam. It won't last you long. It's not a proper foundation. Proper foundation has to be built properly. You first have to check the ground, and then you build your house. Then the attitude is another one that needs a whole lot of attention. Like, take that moment in the beginning of your meditation and ask yourself, what am I doing here? What's my attitude right now? How am I doing what I'm doing? Sitting down and trying to meditate. What does that mean? Meditate. Define meditate. So in other words, really know what you're doing. Study what you're doing. Be curious about it. So you can get your attitude straight. So it becomes a straight attitude, a good attitude, is an attitude which actually supports the meditation practice. And here, the recommended attitude is one of kindness and one of compassion. Now, what's kindness? What's compassion? If I told you right now, I give you a minute to be kind to yourself, during that minute, what would you do? Where would your attention go? How would it go there? What's the quality of your mind like as you're kind to yourself? How do you know kindness from compassion? How can you differentiate? How can you know the difference? Again, that requires attention. You want to do it well. Taking your time to really find out, okay, what does it actually mean to love myself? What does it mean to be kind to myself? I'm sitting down here and okay, Tobi said, be kind to yourselves. What does that mean? What am I doing here? If I'm kind, what does that kindness mean? And what do I mean when I say to myself? Do you mean your body, your mind, your emotions, your thoughts? What are you kind to exactly? Really get to know what you're doing. Only then do you get out of this kind of approach of just simply adapting another one's view. You might go to classes or read a book or watch an interesting movie on YouTube about meditation, and then you pick up the practice and you kind of do what you're supposed to do. But that's just another ideology. It's just another belief that you take on. And many people, they replace their old beliefs, where they go to church and say Amen and Hallelujah, with other beliefs, where they then say Namaste and Om. But it's just beliefs again. It's just more hip, more fashionable, but it's exactly the same. Why? Because we don't understand what we're doing. Why? Because we're not curious, so we don't really pay attention. These old arts, these old religions that are there for you to investigate deeply, taking them seriously, properly. And so it starts with these little preparations. What's my attitude? How can I help myself feeling better about myself as I'm sitting here practicing? And of course, that's not possible if you're really distracted, if you're heavily distracted. So in the beginning, it's not that important. First, it's important to kind of stabilize the mind a little bit. So that's what we do in the first stage, just settling the body. Doing that well means you're following precisely the instruction. I always say breathing in, feeling your legs or feeling your body. Breathing out, relaxing the legs. So the instruction is not breathing in, relaxing the body, breathing out, relaxing the body. There's a reason why I say breathing in, feeling the body. This is the element of listening, of paying attention, of actually really seeing what's going on inside of your body. Where is there tension and why? Is it necessary? Does it have to be there for me to sit in an upright way? Like tension in your forehead, tension in your jaws, tension in your tongue, tension in your throat, tension in, I don't know, in your hands. Is that required for you to sit upright? No, right? You can only notice that if you actually start to listen to your body properly. And then, as your listening skill grows deeper, the second part is you want to let go as you breathe out. Now again, what does that mean, letting go? How do you relax? How do you relax your right forearm? By just only using your mind and your breath. So all that is inviting us to proceed with great care. That also means take your time. There's no rush. It completely goes against the popular opinion that things have to be fast to be efficient. You just need to push a button and boop, you have your instant soup of meditation. So people naturally would ask very often, so if I'm sitting down every day, say 30 minutes, how long does it take me to get the first kind of results? What's the rush? Why doing things fast? There's no value. For me, there's no value in doing things fast. For me, there's great value in doing things properly. It's more important, I think. So also take it with meditation like this. It's not important to do it fast. You don't need to become a great meditator fast. Fortunately, that's not the goal. The goal is simply to do what you're doing right now properly. It's that simple. So you do this one breath right now, feeling the body as you breathe in, relaxing the body as you breathe out properly, from the beginning of the in-breath to the end of it, from the beginning of the out-breath to the end of it. That is enough. It's not overwhelmingly complicated. It just demands attention. In the second stage, the instruction is let go of thinking about the past and the future. Okay, so let's do that right now. Let's let go of thinking of the past and the future. As you're listening to me talk, you probably already have let go to a great extent of the past and the future, but maybe not entirely. So let me ask you a little question. Where is your attention right now? That's a real question. You can answer it if you like.
Right on you, Tony.
On what exactly?
The words you're saying.
Yeah, there you go. It's a trick question. I always ask this question. I always get the same answer. My attention is on what you're saying. Now, if I ask you that same question again, but I give you a little bit of a background, notice that after I snap my finger, I am not saying a word. Where is your attention right now?
My memory.
Your memory of my words. Good. That's
right on the tip of your nose.
Yeah, the tip of your nose is with the eyes, seeing. It could also be, where's your attention right now? Aircon. Fountain. Right shoulder. warmth of the tea. Aircon again. Things are moving, right? The attention moves very fast. So conscientiousness here again means that you are intent on going deeper into the present moment. That's the second stage, conscientiousness. You want to go deeper into the present moment. You're not just satisfied with kind of sitting here and kind of being present, I guess. Something like that. I think I'm present, yeah. Seems I'm present, I'm already here. That's kind of a blurry presence. You want to have a super sharp presence. Knowing what is happening right now in this second. Where's your attention right now? So aim for that. What does it take to get there? A very specific effort, right? You've got to find that out individually. Nobody can make that effort for you. But you have to be curious enough to go there. What would it be that makes you curious to go into presence? What would trigger your curiosity? Yes?
What would be the present moment right now? I mean, so you stop talking and then I guess I would maybe just think about where I am, just sort of what I can see.
Yeah.
If my eyes were open, possibly would be thinking much just what I can see from the environment, the environment I'm in. And not need specifically that different things that I can see the aircon. What do you think would be the ideal present moment?
Do you mean, what is it that, how would it feel like when you're in the present moment, or what is the present moment itself?
I'm a bit confused.
So if you know that you're in the present moment, how do you know that you're present? You simply know that your attention is on something that is happening right now, not in 10 minutes, not 10 minutes ago. Roughly, right? That's a rough present moment. I'm kind of here in this room, and I know it. Now that can deepen. You can bring that deeper. So instead of just being in the general present here, where we're all sitting together, and it's meditation time now, and something like that, that this is the weekly class, we want to go deeper into the present moment. So we come from an area of roughly the 10 minutes right now into that minute right now, into this second right now. So what's your experience like this second? And then you notice it's changing with every second, isn't it? So now you're more present, you're more deeply in the present. Now make it even smaller. So you narrow it down more and more and more, until everything that you're experiencing feels like a process. There's absolutely nothing that's still. Everything moves. Everything that could be experienced is constantly moving. That is proper presence. And it is not only the second stage, it is the third stage already. Because when you're in that kind of depth of the present, then there is no more talking. You're not talking to yourself anymore. Because you're actively listening to this moment. As you do right now, by the way, as you're listening to what I say, your mind is most probably completely empty of words. You're not talking to yourself right now as you're listening, right? Do you notice? Only when I stop for quite a while, the inner self-talk comes up again. So that freedom of verbalization, that's the third stage. No more words. You're not describing anything. You're just aware of what is the reality, the truth of this moment, the truth of your experience of it. That is already quite profound. It's a great place to work from. That's, in my opinion, where true spiritual work actually starts. Now you have a good view on what's real and what's not, what's made up, You can clearly see that your thoughts about what's going to happen tomorrow are made up. And the feelings, the sensations, the sounds, life itself that you are experiencing right now, that is real. It's here and now. And it is continuously informing you. Like every moment, life gives you information. And if you're not there to receive that information, in other words, if your mind is somewhere else, thinking about tomorrow, thinking about yesterday, you're not available, the information passes you by. So we live very inefficient lives. We would be like somebody that's fighting in the ring, like let's say a boxer, who is, while fighting, listening to rock music and looking at the advertisements around him. He's completely distracted. There is no, or thinking about what he's going to eat after the fight. He's already lost. You have to be super present when you're in the ring. The same goes for dancing, playing the piano, the arts, making music. If you're not there, if you're not present, you're missing the whole thing. You become inefficient at living. And how do we know that we're inefficient at living? We suffer a whole lot. We create and recreate again and again an internal experience of suffering. We make life unbearable for ourselves because of our opinions, our views, our thoughts, our constructions. Something gets into our mind, it gets stuck there, we believe it, and it starts creating problems. When there would be no problem, actually. You're just in a room right now. That's it. There's no problem. Apart from the problems that you think into existence out of thin air. I do a lot of counseling and coaching work with people one-on-one. And very often, the only thing that I do is pulling them back into reality. Wake up. And then it's like, oh yeah, I'm just sitting on a sofa right now. Actually, I'm fine. But how will I be fine when I leave this session with you? I mean, when I'm back home, and then there's all my friends, and my phone rings, and how can I be fine then? You see that? You see how this fast your mind pulls you off into dreamland? The way you think about other people, is that true? Is what you think about other people really what other people are? It's so deceptive. We mistake our perceptions for reality continuously, creating a whole lot of problems for ourselves and for others around us unnecessarily. Most of us are walking problem-making machines. It's true. You just got to watch your mind. Watch it from the morning until the evening, and then again. Having the drive to go deeper makes you conscientious. It makes you watch out how you proceed. You want to do it well. This is one of the things I like. Some people, they produce art. They take pride in doing things really, really well. I like that. I think it's a wonderful quality in human beings. And you can see that. You have an artist who's working with a piece of wood, and he really pays attention to what he's doing. He's putting his whole heart into this. I like that. I think that's great to see. Or someone putting down a cup of coffee in the coffee shop, putting it down really nicely on the table. You can see when people are mindful. You can see it. They move gracefully. Their movements are charged with consciousness, with meaning. You can feel they are really here. They're comfortable in life. That's a good quality to have. And it is a direct result of conscientiously doing again and again to do it well. Why? Again, what's the cause of consciousness? You really want it. You've got to have desire for that. Some people say, oh, desire is bad. You shouldn't have desire. I disagree wholeheartedly with that. It is desire that gets you to desirelessness. It is not the other way around. A lot of the modern spiritual types, they think desire is the cause of suffering, therefore I should abandon desire. They're like people who haven't found the island yet and abandoned the boat. It's silly. It is the boat that gets you to the island. And it is desire which gets you to where you can then safely abandon the boat. But abandoning the boat in the middle of the ocean without a real island in sight, it's a bold move. I wouldn't recommend it. Instead of abandoning desire, I would say, well, use it wisely so it gets you to the right place. Use it consciously so you know what you're doing and you're not just ruled by impulse. You're not just reacting to life, but you're consciously acting, moving forward in a good way that is serving you and others. The fourth stage is breathing meditation, is bringing your attention to the breath. As you breathe in, knowing that you're breathing in, breathing out, knowing that you're breathing out. The results of breathing meditation are joy, rapture, bliss, true happiness, a happiness which is not dependent on outside sources. You're able to feed yourself. You don't have to blame other people for your misery anymore. You don't have to think that it is other people that make you happy anymore, because it is you yourself. Having the ability to make yourself happy makes you truly independent. So we do not need to disturb other people anymore and ask them to give us a little bit of happiness by paying a little bit attention to us. Because we have it already. We don't need to take it from others. That is very nice. It's nice hanging around with people. I've met a fair amount of really, really highly developed meditation masters in my life, and it is that wonderful quality about them that they don't need anything from me. There's no need. So in their presence, I am quite free to be myself. They have no needs. So it allows me to simultaneously just relax and be myself. It also allows me to see myself more clearly, because I don't have to act. I don't have to play little roles to get what I want. It's very authentic, very honest. It's a nice thing. There's no pretense in that. So bringing the quality of heedfulness, of mindfulness to the breath, being alert, seeing where your breath is right now, what it does, whether what it does is making you more comfortable or more uncomfortable, and how you can regulate it. Again, it requires conscientiousness. You've got to really pay attention. And have the wish to go deeper. If you stay, and here's a few words actually that hopefully help to motivate you, to make you want to go deeper. If you can stabilize your mind on your breath, for let's say, just for the sake of playing here, for about 30 seconds straight, which is a lot of time. 30 seconds, unbroken attention on the breath, that means a lot. Sometimes I ask people, how long can you focus on the breath? And they say, my focus is not that good. I think maximum of 5 minutes. 5 minutes is insane. It's a lot of time. Any meditator would immediately notice what I'm saying here. 5 minutes is very long. Imagine totally unbroken stillness in your attention for 5 minutes. You don't need instruction anymore. You know very well what you're doing, obviously. But about 30 seconds in, your consciousness and your feeling in the body will begin to change. You'll notice strange new kind of sensations bubbling up to the surface. We call that piti. Piti means something like rapture if you translate it. Your body starts to become joyful. Why? The simple matter of fact that when you're stilling the mind, it doesn't waste energy. So all the energy that naturally comes into the body through breathing, through calmness, through rest, stays and accumulates. It starts to build. You're building energy. This, now you can refer to as the batteries are slowly charging. That's a result of good preparation and good practice. You've done your work, conscientiously, obviously. So you can stabilize the mind for that amount of time. You will start to sink deeper into a state that becomes very pleasant. When that pleasantness arises, you then spread it and massage it into the whole body, using your breath, your intention, using your mind, keeping the awareness nicely expanded. You really make sure that this pleasure grows. Then that pleasure itself takes you deeper. It becomes more and more intense, to the point where for some people it becomes too intense. They're not used to that amount of happiness, of joy. It scares the hell out of them. Some people feel they don't deserve it. Some people feel it's just too much. They feel like this is such an unusual experience. They've never had it. We fear the unknown, so you kind of familiarize yourself with it. Take some time. And yes, absolutely, that's what you deserve. You deserve that kind of happiness. The whole world deserves you holding that kind of happiness. Instead of holding grudges, holding anger, holding impatience, hold that. This is something worthwhile holding. It'll improve your relationships, it'll improve your shopping experience, it will improve everything you do day in, day out. Where you are, that's where there is goodness, where there is ease and happiness and joy, well-being. You take that even deeper until you notice, wow, there is a subtle but still noticeable element of suffering in that. Even though it's so pleasant, it's so nice, if you get more and more familiar with it, you start to notice, it could be better. So you ask yourself, what to do next? How can I let go of that little element, that buzziness that's in there, and go even deeper? And so the process of meditation takes you deeper and deeper. You notice, where is stress and tension here and now? How can I let that go? How deep can that take you? How happy can you be? It's a good question to ask yourself. Ask yourself, how happy can I actually be? What's the upper limit? What's your happiest experience that you've had so far? You think you can do more? You think you can train? What if you trained for happiness directly? Maybe you just dipped your toes into the ocean of happiness. What if you would fully immerse yourself in it? How would that be? What if you drowned in it? These questions are good questions to ask yourself because they make you hungry. They create desire, and desire creates the will to work on it properly. Here you have the cause of conscientiousness. So you start working on it properly, and so the proper results manifest. It's that simple. So conscientiousness is very, very important. Pay attention to what you're doing and make it your intention for the next week, until we meet each other again, hopefully. Make it your intention to do your practice really well and to take pride in it and see what the results are. Every time you sit down and say, okay, I'm going to practice now for half an hour. I'm going to do it really, really well. I'm treating it like this is my piece of art. And I'm creating a nice piece of art here. Okay? So that's all that comes to mind for this kind of topic. Are there any questions?